USC out physicals the Michigan Wolverines in the Coliseum. Is this USC and Lincoln Riley's biggest win under Lincoln Riley? Your calls and as much more. Plus, we look forward to the Irish. Can USC continue to bottle up defenses like offenses like they did on Saturday? Your calls next. I mean, just really amazing, Ryan. The fact that USC rushed the ball for 225 yards in that game, that's the most that the Irish have given up since the Horned Frogs beat them 51-45 when TCU met them in 2022 playoffs. For USC to go in there and dominate the way they did, losing both running back 1 and 2, seeing Waymond, Jordan go down, Eli Sanders go down early in that game. I was sitting there and I turned to Jeff, who's a photographer, and another person next to it. And then all of a sudden I look, and there you see Brian Jackson running out of the tunnel. I'm like, hey, we both are like, hey, can they do that? So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the bogus fine that's coming out to USC, a whopping $5,000 fine. I'm sure they'll find the money somewhere in the USC Trojan sofa for that. Yep. But just heck of a game, Ryan. Just initial. I know you guys talked right after on the Victory Sunday show, but just really quickly, for those that didn't see, your initial thoughts of the USC game on Saturday.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm excited to hear your thoughts since we haven't really been able to talk. As many know, I was at a freaking wedding, so wasn't able to even be in the game, but the atmosphere looked amazing. I stayed up, Tim. We got back from the wedding and I was up till 2:30 a.m. watching the game because I was like, I got to A, watch it, what a win, and 2, be prepared for the morning show. So, you know, didn't get to experience, but got to see on TV. And yeah, what a win. They won in all 3 phases, right? And I think the biggest thing, and then I'd rather hear more from you because I probably will talk too much anyway, but I think the biggest thing for me is they answered, you know, we got to see it continue on, but they answered almost all of the questions that we had after the Illinois game. And those were like, is this offense legit against a good defense? Can this passing game mitigate mistakes? Can they run against big defensive fronts? Can the offensive line hold their own against Big Ten play? All of those, the offense answers. And then defensively, was Illinois a fluke in terms of the front 7? And can the defensive front get back to what they were doing? And can we see progress and development from the secondary? And I think they answered all those questions too. So it was a fantastic game. It was I want to say somewhat of a turning point win for Lincoln Riley in this program. But yeah, what were your thoughts? You were there on the sidelines, on the field all game.
Just an amazing atmosphere. Let's start there. Coliseum fans that got out there. I got to meet Gabe at the game. I tried to hook up with Preston from Preston's Paradise. Wasn't able to see him when looking through the stands.
Gabe, apparently.
I did. I think probably. And his dad, Kurt, met his dad, had a great time with him. Second game in a row, I got to go see Rusty, fight on Rusty. But everyone, the crowd, you guys, was just electric. They had the towels out there. The fans showed up. I was worried because early on you were seeing a lot of maize and blue in the crowd. I'm like, oh, and how do you get the crowd out of it? You start the game fast. So you want me to talk about the game? First thing I want to talk about is starting fast. I've been calling this team to start fast for 2 years now because with an offensive line that we were having trouble last year, with a stronger offensive line this year, we've had no shortage of firepower. And really, this team should have been making other teams play our game. Mm-hmm. And I talked about in the pregame show with Jamal, I said, we need to make Michigan play our game. We need to have Underwood have to drop back, throw, and try to catch up against us in order to have, the success that we saw on Saturday. And starting out fast, winning the middle 8, they go in, they stop them, then they go and they score their own. We could talk about, a couple of turnovers really that could have made this game, colored it completely different. I mean, 31-13 is beautiful. If it wasn't for the kind of a quasi-busted play, it was a nice throw, and then a missed tackle went for a long gain. But outside that long run and those 7 points, I mean, you're looking at USC completely dominating this game after they got their first touchdown, really. I mean, after that, the offense we didn't hear from them very much the entire game. How they do that? Well, USC was holding on to the ball a lot. I like the running game. I like the fact it was balanced throughout. Mm-hmm. One of the key things is what really helps the running game out a lot is the fact that just the passing, those quick hitches, right? The screen, they were screening to perfection, making the defense stretching that defense. That's what softens up that middle of those big, long runs, is your ability to kind of get, keep those linebackers safe. And if the linebackers came up, they were thrown to the tight ends. The tight end seam route was there whenever they would pull the linebackers up. So it really seemed like they were stretching the defense. And Lincoln Riley just called a masterful game. A masterful game. I absolutely loved the way he did it. And it reminds me of when I got the first bootlicker call we ever got was in response to, I was really hard. Well, where is it?
Hey, Tim, I'm never going to forgive you for being such a bootlicker. Never.
And I was talking about the fact that, you brought Lincoln Riley over because of his offense. Yep. And he's the premier offensive play callers in the country. And we saw that on Saturday. We have some great players. We'll talk about Mekhi Lemon. I can't talk about Mekhi Lemon enough, but we have the players. But the way Lincoln Riley called this game, I mean, last year people were all over it saying they want to replace Lincoln Riley as the play caller. I just remember it was constantly when they went on that stretch, and I kept saying, well, why do you have him here then? And not knocking Lincoln Riley, but a big allure to him being the head coach is his offenses and the quarterbacks he brings in to run those offenses. So you pull that ability away from him, then it's almost like you're taking away his superpower, right? And so that's one big issue with doing that. But also, well, we get to the call, but I was a bit concerned with one thing. One thing on Saturdays is where are the complaints going to come from this week? Where are our fans? Where are our fans going to complain about this week? Because the offensive line, I've been talking about for 3 years now. 3 years is there. We're now throwing to our tight ends. The tight ends, we were talking about who's going to be our third receiver. I think we're pretty sure we now know our third receiver is going to be the tight end room because they're making use of that as well. So we have our first call. I can come back to talk about I can talk about the offense for another 20 minutes, but I want to talk about defense as well. Sellis Williams is emerging himself as a legit corner option. We've been waiting for that to happen. Going to that 3 linebacker set, I want to talk about that a little bit. That allowed Kamari Ramsey go back to with Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald playing out of his mind, gets another couple of interceptions and that sack you saw. So there's a lot to talk about, but this is you guys' call. This is your show. We got our first call of the night, and I recognize the phone number. LV Live, how you doing, sir?
Hey, what's going on, boys? Fight on from the East Coast, man. Bryan and Tim.
I'm fired up.
Man, what a big time win. Listen, guys. Listen, on the East Coast, we definitely are out here too. Listen, look, guys, I said it last time. I said, look, it's just one game. We lost one game. It's okay. It's okay. And so now everybody's feeling better, but I'm not surprised. Guys, I mentioned this last time. Well, so let me go back. Tim, on the other place, Tim, you was at, I mentioned this. That Tim's at a new place now, so I apologize. But
no need.
I mentioned this. I stated that Riley did not have his quarterback last year. When he gets his guy to run his offense, this is what it's supposed to look like. And that's what Mayav is doing. Now, I've heard reports out there that, he's running it better than Caleb. Listen, he's not a better quarterback than Caleb, but he runs it exactly the way Lincoln wants. And so that's why you're seeing things that you're seeing right now. Ryan, to your point, you stated this defense is way better than what it was last year. You see the bodies that are rotating there, right? You see it. You got Jakeem Stewart. You got, of course, number 0. I forget Jared, right? So those are Tompkins. These guys are constant rotation, 3, 4s coming off the bench. So now you're seeing different type of pressure.
Jide Abasiri, do not forget him, LV. LV, don't forget Jide Abasiri playing out of his mind the last couple of games.
Abasiri. But see, Tim, you see how you had to correct me? That's how many guys are coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they have in rotation. And now, like you stated, now what we talked about before, Kamari Ramsey can drop back to safety when you put the 3 linebackers with Jaden Walker out there. So now look at exactly what it is. So now I don't feel as worried or even concerned going on the road now to Notre Dame because, as you guys know, offensive line and defensive line travels. So, of course, we take out the food poisoning. That doesn't happen. We're good to go going out there to South Bend. So that's why I'm not worried. We should be extremely, extremely excited about this week, guys. What say you?
So I like the 3 linebacker thing, but that worked because you have a young freshman quarterback that was having some accuracy issues, so you can take that nickel back off, right? Which I think that USC did to perfection. I like that. But when you have CJ Carr, who, He can hurt you. You know, I'm not really excited about their receivers, but he can hurt you. I wonder how much we see of that, Ryan. Are we gonna see a lot more of that three linebacker, that 4-3 that we saw a lot? Are we gonna see some more of that? Because I do like the way it lines up, but I agree with you. I mean, having Kamari and Bishop back there with Jaden Walker out there. Jaden Walker's, we've been talking about him on this channel for a long time about how he's flashing. So yeah, I think that we're starting to see, you know, we see Lincoln Riley go in to his bag of tricks and dialing up a lot of stuff. We're now starting to see Danton Lynn show off some of the athletes we have on the defensive side of the ball. And remember, I've been saying this to you guys. These young guys are getting healthy. I mean, these young guys are getting healthy. These young guys are getting experience, and this team is getting healthy. We were banged up early on defense, and they're starting to slowly get healthier. And that's going to continue. Alex Graham kind of got his feet wet in the last game. We'll see how much he's able to emerge as a true freshman. But getting healthy and getting these guys experience. Celis Williams, I kind of just jumped to it early on in the show, is emerging as a legitimate guy that's going to be able to help us out on the edge in the corner. I mean, he didn't have to do much, you know. I'm a St. John Bosco alum, so I'm always looking to hype my Bosco guys. But there's no need for me to do that. But he's always been a great tackler. But now he's looking more comfortable out there, Ryan. So what are your thoughts on can they continue this in South Bend?
Yeah, LV, always good to hear from you, brother. Thanks for always calling in. But it's going to be interesting. I think moving forward, we'll see more of this 3-backer set. And, you know, Gentry, I can't remember the number, but Gentry played like 21 nickel snaps actually, like in coverage. And, you know, obviously doesn't have the speed as a true nickel guy, but certainly has the length and size. If it's, you know, short intermediate routes, like think of those quick hitters that Illinois was hitting over the middle, like Gentry could maybe alleviate that just on his length alone. So I think they'll use it more. Obviously, Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame is, you know, one of the best backs in the entire country. You know, they just played one of the best backs in the country at Michigan. We're able to, you know, neutralize him for the most part. Obviously, didn't play in the second half, but your priority number one against Notre Dame is Jeremiah Love. Obviously, CJ Carr is a big upgrade at the quarterback position that they'll see. So, you know, we'll see how much they'll switch off. I do think we'll see more kind of dime and nickel packages versus this 4-3 base, just because of that. But I think this 4-3 base overall is here to stay in some capacity compared to it was, you know, the first 5 weeks. And, you know, Tim, Jaden Walker, it's going to be redshirt freshman. Desmond, everyone's been hating on Desmond Stevens. The kid is a true sophomore.
Ryan,
he needs to grow.
Ryan,
Go ahead.
I don't think I've been hating on him.
Yeah,
I guess
but guys, he's great. He fills the hole, man. He fills it. And that's what you want for your backer. You want him stepping up and making some great plays. And I saw Desmond Stevens doing the same thing. Those guys were filling those gaps. That's what you want. Meet him in the hole, in that 3-hole, 4-hole, 6-hole. That's what you want. Don't step back. Your first read should be coming forward. And that's what I saw from those guys. But that's something we saw from Jaden Walker. I've heard all through camp that's what he was doing, was filling the gap. So that's what you want. Also, too, I saw you talking about the 4-3. I mean, I think also, too, even with the Notre Dame, you know, considering the fact Jaden Love, they can even possibly go to a 5-2. You can even possibly do that. I mean, that's something he can do because of the pieces that he has. Like I talked about earlier, they're so interchangeable up there that he could do that. And that's the thing I think people were worried about with Lynn. Like, is he able to adjust? Him going to that 4-3 shows that he has the capabilities to do that defensive-wise. So that's what gives me hope. Also, too, Ryan, how do you feel about Alex Grimm? Like, what do you think? Do you think he's going to possibly come back and possibly play that nickel this week? What say you?
Yeah, he had I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he did play a couple snaps. So at least he got I remember I don't know if you heard me, LV, before, but I was up till 2:30 in the morning, like watching the game. And I remember I kept pausing it. I'm like, oh, 27, there he is. He's out there. So did get out there. I think they're going to work him in slowly. But he feels like he feels like the future nickel. So it might not be next week. It might not be against Nebraska after the bye, but he feels like the future until, you know, obviously we'll see what happens with Prophet Brown, who it sounds like he's going to take a medical red shirt likely, and we'll be back next year. But Alex Graham seems like the dude that's going to be kind of that nickel player, you know, in the future. I just don't know how soon that'll be, but it was great to see him out there and starting to get some lather and some reps finally. Cause I mean, his first collegiate reps, right? We heard all this hype and excitement, but we haven't been able to see it. So it's good to just see him healthy. Slowly
get him work himself in there. Don't forget about Jerry and Price. You guys have to realize Price. Do not, you know, Love gets all the love, but man, Price is a home run threat every time he touches the ball. So, I mean, this will be the best. It probably is the best running back room, in America, in my book. I mean, especially now that our room's a little dinged up. I mean, heck, we are 4 deep now, but these two guys are studs. They're a 1-2 combo.
Tim,
Go ahead,
Tim, were you at the game this weekend, Tim? Were you there?
Mm-hmm. I've been to every home game going back to the early 90s. Yeah, I don't miss home games.
So, but one question I have: what was the response from the recruits? I mean, I heard Ryan talking about the recruits earlier about the JUCO guy we just got. What was the response from the recruits? Because to me, that's the biggest win here, right? Michigan's great, but keeping this class intact is the biggest win for us going forward. Did you see the reaction from those guys, those linemen? Of course, the big time corner coming out. You know what I mean? I forget his name. But did you see, of course, Booby Feaster, right? Did you see those guys and their reaction, after the game? Did they seem amped up by the win? They're
sitting right behind the SC bench, kind of near the SC, but they sit they got great seats. They're right there, right behind the bench. And I always glance up casually and see that I'm looking at the parents too, by the way. Everyone looked pretty excited in that game. I mean, who wouldn't be? That was a great atmosphere. It was great to have them there, but the show out for the top. I mean, the top guys in that 26 class and some of the 27 class guys, they've been coming to almost every game. I mean, there have been big names at every game. And the Mark Bowman guys, you see lots of guys there every single week. The local guys are there that are recruits.
I heard Tom. I heard Tom's there every week. I heard Tom's there.
All the local guys, all the modern day, the modern day guys come on down.
In the dorms already, I feel like that dude freaking lives there. I love it.
Yeah. So I mean, what was the atmosphere with them? And they all that's a close knit group, and they all seem like they enjoy each other's. They're there, before the game. We're not allowed to take pictures of them or video them, but before the game, as the team's warming up, they're at midfield. You got the head coaches holding court out there, and just. You got Bowden out there, and a lot of the administrators out, all the recruiting staff out there. It's a great atmosphere for the recruits, and I'm not worried about recruiting. They're all in, and
Bowden. I don't know if you. Sorry to interrupt you, Tim. But I don't know if you guys heard this, but Bowden was saying today that there was a few official visits, and so he was with them earlier before the game at the Strand in Manhattan Beach, or at the stand, excuse me, in Manhattan Beach. Showing him there, grabbing brunch, and then went back to campus. So, not a bad place for recruits to visit. That's for sure.
And listen, hold on, LV, real quick. We're again, LV, hold on a second. We're doing it to where we have thank you all so much for tuning in on Twitter. But we got over 100 people on Twitter, and we've got, we're trying to build the USC channel. So I understand if you guys are on Twitter, you can't make it over here to YouTube. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. But we're going to switch over to YouTube. We would love to have you come on over here and help our numbers on YouTube. Those of you, thank you guys. Those of you who are on YouTube, if you're enjoying we told before, we don't ask enough, but thank you so much for being here. If you hit that like button and subscribe, if you're enjoying the show so far, we're doing these live shows, 3-4 of them a week now. You definitely get them on Monday and Wednesday. So on Mondays, it's going to be Ryan and myself. And then on Friday, it'll be Madman and myself as well. And then, Ryan, you're doing a midday show at 12 o'clock on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you guys, 4 days a week, you guys. So all we would ask you guys is appreciate you all over on Twitter. If you want to head on over here for the rest of the show and call on in. You guys, phone number 888-997-4539. This is your guys' call-in show, and that's what we're looking for is your thoughts. LV, you're always here supporting. Any final thoughts for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and before I get up out of here, listen, once again, you guys are doing a fabulous job. Keep it going. Ryan, I'm always checking out your shows. You guys just keep it going, pumping out great content, man, for USC. Lastly, before I go, Ryan, what is the status of Floyd Boucard? He's been awesome for us as a freshman. I saw he went down with that leg injury. What's the status of him? Is he out 2 to 4 weeks? What does it look like? And that's it. Pretty much I'm out of here, boys. Keep on doing what you're doing. Fight on from the East Coast, man. I'm out of here. Take care, guys.
Bye now, LB.
You guys, the man. Appreciate that. But I'll be at practice tomorrow, and Riley's not going to tell us much injury wise, but if it's a new one, he may give us an update if they're at least out for an extended period. So I don't know off the top of my head to answer your question, but he's definitely one that we'll check in on because he's had such a big impact. You could argue he's had a bigger I wouldn't say bigger, but you could argue he's had an equivalent impact to Jakeem Stewart as both true freshmen. So yeah, I'll definitely check his status tomorrow. I don't know, Tim, I don't know if you noticed, it didn't seem, obviously he got rolled up on. It didn't seem like it was like a severe, like, oh, he's going to be out a while, but those things linger. So it could certainly be back after the bye for Nebraska. It could be, hey, we'll see him if we make a run for the Big Ten championship.
I don't want to put any predictions on it at all, but it's how those big linemen do get rolled up on. Yeah. It's definitely a lower body leg kind of thing because he needed help getting off of the field. So yeah. I don't know if the TV copy showed that or not, but the support staff had to help him carry him off. I mean, he was limping, but he was like basically being supported by the support staff. Yeah, so that's gonna be. I don't know. I mean, it could be a couple weeks. Who knows? Could be longer. Thoughts and prayers out to him because I'll tell you what. Another guy I was really huge on, just watching his film coming before he came to USC. I knew he has that get off. He's new to football. You know, this guy's a hockey player from Canada, right? And so I mean, he's kind of getting his feet wet and learning the sport in air quotes, but kind of new to football, but just a freakish athlete. That guy's that big, like I always say, with that kind of twitch, that quick twitch motor, you can get off like that. They're a hot commodity. Speaking of a guy like that, another freshman, Jakeem Stewart what do you think of him at Zero Tech? Like he was abusing that center and guard. And those are veteran guys. These are veteran Michigan offensive linemen. And the way he was playing, it's just so hard for guys. He got a fair amount of reps at zero technique, and then he was at the 3 technique as well. But I mean, like he moves, you know, when he gets off the line, especially those guys, the interior guys, he is so much quicker. He's in a backfield before they're even getting out of their stance. So your thoughts again on his development, Ryan?
Oh man, he's going to be so, I mean, he already is special. I saw I think On3 put out like a graphic of like the all freshman team right now, and they didn't have him on there, which I was pretty surprised. You know, you look at the D line, there's 2 guys at Maryland that are just like, they have like 9 sacks between the 2 of them. They're absolutely killing it. But after that, it's kind of like, I guess, pick who you want. I'm putting Jakeem Stewart 10 out of 10 and twice on Saturdays for sure. With how he's looking so far. And, you know, we'll talk more Notre Dame throughout the week, but Notre Dame center's gone for the year. So they got a backup center starting next week for the first time. And I think we might see a little bit more of Jakeem at Zero Tech to try to eat that center's lunch, but super coachable. Every time I've talked to Coach Henney, he just says the dude's just like, he loves football. He's a smart kid. His work ethic is off the charts. So, I mean, the future is so bright. He was one that, remember, they got him like late before signing day. It was kind of like the last or so day, and he ended up announcing to USC. And, you know, that was just such a huge commitment to get because he's already had an impact this early on. And Tim, imagine his sophomore or junior year. Like, he might be the best defensive lineman in the country. Yeah, that's not hyperbole. That's how he's looked so far.
He left. He reclassified. He should be in high school right now.
Yes.
So that's even a more scary thought. And then you talk about Tom's going to be here next year. I wonder what kind of impact he can make as a true freshman.
Like Tim,
think of Buchard and Tom, and I mean, we're going to be rotating.
Winfield.
Yeah, the defensive line that they're building, and that Bowden and Henney and Nua and Lynn, just the way they're building this defensive line. And you heard Riley say that one of the biggest things he regrets is how they're going so much into the portal. And we know portal, especially with linemen, offensive linemen, definitely, and defensive linemen as well. We've seen a couple defensive linemen we thought that were, you know, over the years here. I'm not looking at any particular person, but over the years, I thought they would have a little more of an impact that ended up not having that impact going back to Riley's first season. So getting those elite level linemen, bringing them in, developing them in your system, letting, you know, Coach Nua, Coach Henderson, you know, Coach True now, get them into the weight room and develop them. Ryan, having these 2 freshmen coming in and starring the way they have, and I'm hoping that Floyd Buchard gets back as soon as possible, just can only help getting more and more of these blue chip defensive linemen into the program.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, they see that they can have a impact early, and then B, obviously seeing the development and the growth, and then, you know, that's what you want to be a part of is be a part of a team that's winning, be a part of a culture that's great, be at a program that's, everything that USC is, but then individually show yourself, develop, and have an impact early on. And that's what, these young freshmen are showing. And man, I mean, you think about next year or 2 years from now with Jamian Winfield, Tom, Floyd Boucard, Jakeem Stewart, Cash Jacobson, I think is underrated. We haven't seen Gus Cordova yet at the edge. I mean, he had a great fall camp. He looks fantastic. What's his name? Jaden Ramos was like crushing it during the fall and spring. Just needs a little bit more weight on that body for the speed from the edge. I mean, there's a ton of talent in the youth movement here at USC. And not to pivot too hard, Tim, but I'd be remiss if we didn't give credit to, some of these older guys that have played so well. And one of those obviously being Devin Tompkins, right? 2 sacks in this game. I mean, he's been the true stabled force on the defensive line, like consistent, what you're getting out of him, the size he's put on. Guy's a former basketball player, right? Similar to Floyd Boucard, like hadn't played football to really get into USC, a 3-star recruit that kind of came here and then developed within the system. And now he's like their star defensive lineman that does not get, I think, the credit he deserves. So huge shout out to Devin Tompkins as well.
Coming off the last staff, we were so devoid of development. Just hearing the levels, we're hearing about, quarterbacks playing cornerback, quarterbacks playing safety. And you have guys like that were basketball players or hockey players now playing on the defensive line. We do have the coaching staff for it. They do have a plan. Thank you, Tennessee, for blowing the doors off of how USC was handling NIL. And now USC's recruiting without a hand behind their back. And then they bring in Chad Bowden, who's just killing it, has a plan, has a vision. Riley and Jen Cohen, they're all in alignment. They got the new football only facility coming in that's getting closer and closer every week to being completed. I think USC is building that Death Star that the Big Ten is so worried about, because I'll tell you what, every corner they're trying to do strange things. Let's talk about, since we're talking about Big Ten strange things really fast. Let's talk about this $5,000 fine. Okay, so after the game, we're there, and someone asked a question, and I get out because I was wondering, because I saw him ran out, and we're all turning each other. Like, can they do that? And sure enough, you see him come into the game and make an instant impact on that cutback and just housing it. Guys coming off turf toe. If anyone's ever had turf toe, it's not that it's one of the more painful things you ever get experienced. And to play through that like he did, he's just one tough kid. I hope he didn't re-aggravate. That's also one of those things that you can re-aggravate really easily. And we're definitely going to need him next week or this week at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But talk about, so I heard some Michigan guys talking some smack about the $5,000. You guys, when you get a $5,000 fine, that's like being fined like 30 cents, to like probably not even that, Ryan, getting fined a nickel, because really all this is they're saying, yes, we understand why you did it. Now, Lincoln Riley said that they had reached out to the league officials in the Big Ten before they brought him in. And now I can't remember if he got confirmation that it was okay, because that'd be kind of weird if he did, but I know that they notified the Big Ten and they said, hey, look, we've got a situation here. We just lost 2 of our running backs. We got some of our other running backs that have not been able to play, that still aren't healthy yet to even join the team. And we have a situation here. It's kind of unique. And so that's why they did it. And I mean, I don't know, maybe they told Riley, well, we're going to fine you $5,000. Okay, whatever. And they brought him in. Your thoughts on the fine? It's such a nothing burger. I don't really know why we're talking about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's my guess, Tim, is I have no doubt in my mind that they did. Why would Riley make that up? Like, I don't think so. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm pretty confident exactly what you said at the end there, that they reached out, said, here's the situation. And the Big Ten probably said, yeah, go for it. You'll get slapped with a little fine. That's I don't even know if they told the number. They probably just said, because you have him on out on the injury report, you'll get slapped with a little fine. I'm sure that was that. And they said, okay, yeah, we need him. Like we got King Miller and one other walk-on. That's the only running backs even dressed right now. Because obviously Harry Dalton and Riley Wormley, the 2 freshmen, are both out as well with injuries. So
Dalton's been a little bit, and Wormley's still trying to work himself back from the offseason knee injury that he had, slowly coming back, right? But here's the thing. So let's look at, why do they have that rule? They have that rule for 2 reasons. Vegas, I'm kidding. I'm being cynical. They're having it so everyone's on the same playing field as far as, just injury reporting. And to say that, our third string running back is probable instead of out, because if you hear Lincoln Riley talk about it, basically he was out. They had absolutely zero plans short of catastrophe hitting, which you lose your first string and your second string early, so that now you have King Miller running the ball. I mean, this is not 1970. You're not going to give Anthony Davis the ball, or Marcus Allen the ball 30 times, 35 times and have him run the ball, right? It's not Charles White back there. The game's different now. You want to kind of reduce the amount of time that running back's taking a lot of those carries. So it became that kind of a situation. And it's not like USC is getting a competitive advantage going from probable to out on your third string running back. I mean, does that even move the line in Vegas? And quite frankly, him coming in, USC was covering that spread easily already. So, I mean, who did it hurt? It didn't hurt anybody. So I think that's why I give him a $5,000 fine and then move on. Because technically, by literal law, they probably broke the rule. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's such a nothing conversation. They said the $5,000 and that's the end of it. That's, anyone want to open up some big can of worms? It's not. Yeah. It's over. That's it. $5,000 and we move on. So we covered that. Exactly. What else we got to talk about? Because apparently we got shy on these phone calls. You call it right now. You'll be the first one take the call. Love to hear from you guys. First time caller are my favorite. I love more than that though. If there's an Irish fan out there, or if there's an angry Michigan fan out there, maybe if you're a Duck fan, you need some consoling. If you want to call in, we could help the Duck fans out there if they're having a hard time.
They have no problem going crazy on Twitter. Just don't want to actual voice, I guess.
I don't know. But the phone lines are open for those of you who want to call. Do give us a call. Speaking of the line, USC easily covered that line, but really the score, it kind of, I want to get a little bit greedy here. USC turned the ball over. Oh, here we got a call. Hold on a second. Remind me about that score. We got a call here. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from? By the way, thanks for calling in.
Hey, it's Russ. Absolutely, man. It's Russ from San Diego.
Russ from San Diego, veteran. Russ, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Much better than I was doing last week, that's for sure.
Yeah. Nothing like a big win at home to make you forget about the woes on the road.
Yeah, man. And it's like, I think everybody needs to use this as look, we have collective PTSD from how things have gone for us the past, not just couple years, but, through the Helton years, through the end of the Sark years, it's been, we have, for good reason, Trojan fans, Trojan alum, we're a little, again, we got some PTSD going, but it was really amazing to me where I'm kind of like, look, we had so many things working against us. And I think everybody, if you asked Trojan fans, look, it sucked that we were making a big deal about the 9 a.m. 3 time zone travel months out. As soon as that was released, that was something people were talking about. And then everybody, I think agrees that injuries are a bad thing. And then we find out about the food poisoning. It's those things are all sort of material reasons why we might underperform. And then despite all of that, it's well, how come we lost? It was Lincoln Riley. This team's soft. We're frauds. And it was just kind of I don't know. I just hope that us as a fan base, and I've come on your show before. I've been calling in, on and off for a couple of years now. And I've screamed in the phone before. So I'm not saying I'm haven't got excited or whatever, but we just need to use this moment. Guys, the sky isn't always falling. Sometimes we didn't lose because of some metaphysical, we're soft thing, the specter of softness that hangs over a Lincoln Riley coach team. Maybe we were just beat to shit and we had food poisoning and we lost by 2 on the road. Maybe that's actually what happened. So I'm just, I hope, let's just use this as hopefully a learning moment to get over some of our collective PTSD going forward.
A lot of times, Russ, people forget about sports. Sports is about matchups. A lot of times what you do really well you know, like in boxing, if what a boxer does, like your champ, and he's arguably the best boxer in the world. If there's something, or MMA, you know, if there's something that his weakness, and you have some guy who's probably not as highly rated, you know, as the champ, but does that thing that they're weak at very well, you see upsets. And I think in the case of USC, absolutely, you know, it was the perfect storm of, has USC figured out the road yet? We don't know. I mean, we can say it's food poisoning. We can say all kinds of things, but you know, it was a 9 o'clock start. It's on the road. USC has yet to show that we can win on the road, which scares me because I don't have a really good road. Well, actually, the Trojans don't have a really good road record. I definitely don't have a good road record going. I've seen one win. I'm like 1-5 in South Bend. And I need USC to win this one, damn it. And it looks like, guess what? There's a 45% chance of rain, which is great. Of course, it's going to be raining. Of course, it's at night. Yeah. It's going to be 60 degrees in the rain. Thank you, South Bend, Indiana.
Hey, but Tim, guess what? God, I think God is becoming a USC fan because it's supposed to downpour in LA tomorrow, so they get to practice in the rain. Get a little get some reps in the rain tomorrow at practice.
I like that. So they won't be dunking balls into buckets. It'll be real rain tomorrow. So that's good.
Yeah.
They'll get some rain. I'm sure you'll be out there. Oh wait, you're not going tomorrow, are you?
No, I'll be there. I'll be there in my, I don't really have a raincoat, but newspaper over my head, I guess.
I might go check that one out too. That'll be interesting. And I just think that USC has had trouble, Russ, traveling. I think until this game, I think USC had shown some signs of weakness in the middle, right? You know, at times, but and where really I think that we've cleaned up is in the passing game. Now that might be the fact that Underwood's gonna be a great quarterback one day, but he was struggling with his accuracy in that game a lot. There were some balls left out there that that sailed on him and he threw away. One big one on third down that really cost them, but USC
and it was
hasn't been on the road. It has
just real quick, man.
Well, hold on a second, Russ. They need to get on the road, right, and have one of these games. Like I want to see them go on the road and be dominant. That's the next step for USC. Sorry, Russ, go ahead. Because they haven't done it yet. We've done a lot at home. We're great at home. Food poisoning, no food poisoning, early starts, 9 o'clock. Body clock kicks. We've heard everything. Just win a damn game on the road, then we can get this monkey off our back.
Yeah, and we're even pretty good on neutral field. You know, we beat LSU on a neutral field. We beat A&M on a neutral field.
Good point.
We're not bad on the neutral field. It's we could stay away from Provost, Utah, and wherever a few other places are we could be all right.
Well, don't get me started on altitude.
Yeah,
I don't want to start on that one.
Right.
Fourth quarters in there is not a good call.
Yeah. About Bryce Underwood, I just think, another sign of encouragement is like 3 years ago, if you would have looked at like Bryce Underwood's stats, throughout the whole season, he would have had some freshman record, against us, right? Like 4 touchdowns, 400 yards, Farmer, Bryson Barnes, or there would have been some weird stat that a freshman quarterback has never done before, and he would have torched it out scram defense. So it was encouraging that we were just able to tailor a game plan against an inexperienced quarterback and then execute the game plan pretty well. It's a sign of progress.
Yeah, Russ, I need them to show me a win on the road. A real, not, sorry. I'm not counting Purdue. If anyone brings up Purdue, I'm not going to count Purdue. Purdue is Purdue. You know what I mean? And then UCLA is not a road game. And playing in Vegas I'm not going to downplay that at all, because if anyone was there for either one of those games, LSU was loud. That was a hostile crowd. And Allegiant, that stadium is, obviously it's enclosed, and it gets loud. And I'll tell you, both the Aggie fans and their weird cheer guys do those weird things that they do in the white pants. They had that crowd going crazy. Those guys scare me. Those guys had that crowd going crazy in that game. And so it was a hostile environment. Just win one on the road, please, SC.
Yeah.
Talk to those Carroll teams. Just they had the sauce. They had the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Talk to those Carroll teams. They would go on the road to
turnovers,
Auburn and kick their ass. They'd go to Arkansas. They go to Ohio State in the shoe and kick, not kick their ass, but walk away with a last minute victory. I mean, the dominant USC teams do that. And that's the next step for this team.
Yeah. We beat Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech, and it all starts. No silly turnovers. We have a chance to go up 2 scores, and really from the onset, make the other team play the game on our terms. That fumble by the tight end, that was a hell of a play by the Michigan defender.
Yeah, hell of a hit.
Like a hit stick out of a video game.
Yeah.
But like, you're a tight end. Like, you don't need to start like, am I gonna go left behind my blocker? Am I gonna, you know what I mean? Like, you got the first down, just cover the ball up and run forward like a bowling ball. I'm being super nitpicky right now, but just these little.
Lake's got some wiggle to him.
Game of inches, right?
Lake's got some wiggle to him.
He did, but I mean, he left himself open, right? He got wrapped up by 2 guys, and then the third guy came in and was able to
Russ, that's going to happen to almost anybody. That's going to happen to almost anybody. I actually felt that hit from the sidelines. That was a power. He blindsided. He came right over and just nailed him, and he never saw it coming. Yeah, you're right. You got to secure the ball, but 9 out of 10 times that ball's coming out. I'm not getting on Lake that hard for that one. And then Jaden had the. It just seems like he has one a game where it's just like you're flawless, and then it's just like crazy. Like right. the previous game where he just did not see the linebacker and threw it right to him, and on this one just doesn't throw it away. But what I love about Jaden is when he does that, Ryan, when he does that, Russ, it does not faze him. If anything, I think it pisses him off, And I got a great picture. I'm going to pull it up, you guys, of that last run. Bryan Jackson running to the end. So I'm going to see if I can find it really quick for us before we get out of here. Mm-hmm. If you watch it, Jaden Mayava is running down the field as faster than any of the other defenders on the Michigan team. And the look on his face, the smile on his face, he's enjoying Bryan's touchdown more than Jackson is. So let me find that really quick before we get out of here, because I do think you guys should see this picture.
It's funny. I noticed that Jaden does that every time. I mean, week 2, Mekhi Lemon, his big touchdown, he was the first one to meet him. And I just it's super ironic that it happened, but just 3 or 4 weeks ago, or maybe it was a month ago, Tom Brady on, I don't know if it was some podcast or talking with Fox or whatever, but he talked about that. He looks at quarterbacks, what they do after the touchdown. And he doesn't like it when guys, point to the air, do the gun show, kind of make it about themselves. He likes guys that goes and celebrates with their teammates, because that's what he always did. And Mayava's that guy, always about his teammates. So love seeing that.
Yeah, here it is. All right. Well, anything else for us? You got anything else for us, Russ? Russ, thank you so much. I haven't heard from you in a little while. Appreciate you calling. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm just echoing how much I love Mayava, man. I was very skeptical after that A&M game. I was like, dude, this guy's a spaz, bro. And he has proven me wrong in so many different ways. And it's funny how if you go back 6 weeks, I think most of the Trojan fan base was kind of like, is Longstreet going to be ready in 2026? Like, we were just kind of like, is Jaden going to just do well enough to save the recruiting class so Longstreet can take over? And now we're kind of like, oh man, I kind of hoping Jaden doesn't go to the NFL, right?
He'll be in the draft. He's not going to be around next year. Yeah, he's too good.
I hear you. Yeah.
But that's all I got, man.
Oh man, thank you, Russ. Yeah, I mean, I think anybody, if they're being completely honest, great call, Russ. Fight on, man. Yeah, if anyone's being honest with themselves, last year Jaden didn't show us what he's showing us this year. There were question marks. There was undeniable arm talent, but then there were 2 or 3 of those things we're seeing 1 a game now. We were seeing 2, 3, 4 of those a game. Now, I've said it many times. It wasn't really fair because he's kind of coming in from the bullpen. Game 9, it's not really even his team. His guys they gelled with on, and so he's kind of comes in and he's put in an awkward position and he wins. He wins out of the 4 last games, right? That he was a part of. So I mean, he's always had that moxie to him. And in the offseason, what I was saying is that all I want to see from him is poise. If anyone, that's what I love about this show. Go ahead and roll the tape on me. I just kept saying one thing. I need Jaden to show me poise. And what was cool about this game is look how quick they're getting the ball out. It was hitches, slants, screens, run game, and the ball was just getting out just on time. And that's offense. That's Jaden playing. Someone talked earlier about he's not Caleb. He's not. He plays within the system. I mean, he is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. I know that a bunch of people gave Gabe a hard time because he said that he's the point guard, right? He's not saying that that people say, oh, he's a gym rat, or he's a system quarterback. That's not what a point guard is. A point guard is the guy that gets you the ball, but he's not just your typical point guard. The thing about Jaden is I think he's like one of the top guys in the big time throws. I mean, he didn't go deep. Did he go deep in this game at all?
Yeah, I think there was a couple 20 plus, but nothing like
no, he's not dropping back and airing it out 60 yards down the field.
Routes, I think, and yeah,
but he can make all the throws, and
then that sorry to cut you off. That touchdown to Lemon, like I don't know what was better, the throw or the catch. I mean, because it obviously
down.
Like, obviously, we should make a huge fuss about the catch because that was incredible what Mekhi Lemon's able to do, and he just does it every week. But the throw itself was incredible. Like, just the only spot that Mekhi could get it on a rope. So, I mean, I talked to legit people after the Texan A&M game, not just, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, fans are the best, but these weren't just like fans. These are like people involved or in media or something. And it was like unanimous, like, man, Lincoln's got to hit the portal. Either go hard after Quinn Ewers, or this was before Nico Yamalava entered the portal. And then when that happened, a lot of people were in on that. And I don't think anyone now would say, I think everyone now would say they're very happy that did not happen. And Jaden Mayoff is the quarterback of the USC Trojans.
Yeah. So I was kind of in that crowd. This is what I was saying. I was saying, I'm a bit nervous that we're going to basically rely on, by not going into the portal, you're basically saying that is Jaden or bust. And so when I said that when he did not go into the portal, Lincoln Riley knows a little something about quarterbacks. And there were some quarterbacks USC could have gone after. They're not going to John Mateer because obviously his OC went down with him to Oklahoma. But like there were guys that USC could have pursued and gone after. But they didn't, because Riley knew what he had, in Jed. And to the media, we don't get to see a lot of practice. We get to see a lot of them, throwing on routes on air and stuff like that. You don't get to see a lot of team stuff. So it was kind of hard to see. And that first half, you guys, first 3 quarters of the bowl game in Vegas, it was ugly, you guys. There's a lot of people, I got not arguments, but I just kept saying to them, like, what are you seeing that I'm not seeing then? Because I'm seeing him really streaky and he can really put together. Because let's face it, he's nails down the stretch almost always. But the first 3 quarters of that game, I was like, he'd make a great throw and then he'd hand punt, and I'm thinking we can't keep doing this, And I just would say to them, what are you seeing that we aren't seeing? We're seeing the undeniable arm talent. I said, all I want to see from him is a full offseason under Lincoln Riley. So it'd be a second full offseason under Lincoln Riley. This time he's the number 1 guy. He's going to get a lot. He's going to get a lot of time and routes with the starting receivers that he didn't have the year before. But I want to see that. I want him to get comfortable in this offense. I want to see him poised. I want him to look like he looks pre-snap and going through his progressions and making the quick right reads like he's done remarkably. You guys, he wasn't doing that last year. But I think Lincoln Riley knew what he could do, and that's why they didn't even really have a serious look into the portal. All things worked out. And if you had, you might have lost Jaden Mayava, and then where would you be with some, washout probably.
Well, I think, and last point on that, I know this is like off this specific topic, but a lot of perception within not just fans, but within the media is very different than programs, coaches in the league. Like there were teams pushing for Mayava to enter the portal. Miami being one of them. Like, we kind of know that, right? Before they got Carson Beck, there were teams out there tampering, whatever you want to call it, pushing him to the, hey, we'll take you here if USC wants to go somewhere else. So the league knew how good this kid could be, especially with Lincoln Riley, and his development it's just been fun to watch. And last thing, Tim, I mean, we got to give credit to the offensive line. This offensive line is so much more developed than what it was last year. And I think what's so incredible about it is the versatility that all these guys have. And, I was saying this kind of last week, if Elijah Page is not 100% ready to go, it's almost better to hold him out, because the last thing you want is to play 2 series, not feel right. And then, you move Toby over to the left, or you move Toby from guard to right, move Tanow from left or right to left, bring in Michael Benuelos cold. So you just get a rhythm with the 5 that they decided to go with. And, you're missing your best offensive lineman in Page, and they didn't miss a beat. They looked fantastic against Michigan. And I get it's not the same Michigan as last year, but it is still a Michigan defensive front. It's still a top 5 unit in the Big Ten. And all those guys, I mean, John Ray Reed, hats off to him, what he did after, a week of the bye and whatnot, and his development, learning the system better. And all those, Alani Noah just looks like an incredible different athlete than what he was last year. Micah Benuelos looking fully healthy, and the development that he's had. And then obviously the 2 tackles, I think, have been fantastic. So long rant, but I think give credit to Jaden Maiava with his development, but you got to credit this offensive line that's, allowing him to work within the system so much better too.
Yeah, for sure. Look at, I sent this to Roy Banuelos earlier in the week, or maybe yesterday or Tuesday. I can't remember.
Love it. Just standing him up.
And look at that hole. You want to talk about your offensive line? I mean, that's what he ran through for that scamper. And then this is earlier what I was talking about.
Tim, I was reading the book of Exodus this morning in the Bible, and that's the Red Sea right there. That was the Red Sea. It's
pretty wide. But I mean, and then look, and then you got look at Jaden. I wish I could zoom in on Jaden right now, but he's smiling from ear to ear. So hold on a second.
I love it.
Hi, caller. Which name were you calling from?
Maddox from Cypress, California.
Cypress, right down the block. I grew up in Cypress, as a matter of fact. As soon as my dad decided to stop getting master's degrees from USC, I think he received 2 master's degrees from USC. As soon as he was done playing around in school at USC after being there for what would that be? So undergrad, 2 masters, whatever. I was a little kid. We moved from Mary Student Housing on USC campus to Cypress. So welcome. What's your question?
Wow, that's awesome. I was kind of just, hopping on. I'm a first-time call, young USC fan. I was actually liking what Ryan was saying earlier about the offensive line. I think Zach Hansen, I mean, that guy has really been earning his paycheck. The way he's just, developed this line. I mean, losing your center and losing, obviously, Elijah Page and Wingfield in the beginning of the season, and then just not really skipping a beat like we're talking about. I mean, watch number 77 the whole game, the way he pulls around the line, the way he pushes, he opens up holes. I mean, it's just, he's developing a real offensive line, and something that we haven't had in a while, I feel like.
Well, people forget, Matt, remember also, Pregnon was supposed to be on this team. Now, I don't want, that's the last time.
Wingfield.
But that's the last time I'm going to say his name, because he went to the dark side. But I mean, and then Wingfield was going to come in kind of replace Pregnon.
Fair, yeah.
And so this could have been something they could have in the past hung their hat on, like, oh, shoot, we didn't get the guard, and they moved Tobias inside, and bam. I mean, the way that I will tell you, I love the way the Towers playing, but I again go back to that picture I showed you guys. The way the guards are playing, Alani Noah, you guys got a lot of crap from the fans last year. I think one of his low points last year might have been like the Washington game. And the fact is, the dude's a true freshman out there. You know what I mean? Out there playing. And that should have shown you guys that when you have a true freshman starting at USC, getting all those reps, look at him now. The guy looks like a prototypical NFL guard right now, just looking off the hoof. He's just big, strong, super athletic, super quick. I'm surprised he's not getting more pub than he is, because the way, watch him just on these run plays where it's short yardage plays, they're always going right behind him because he handles his duty, knocks him back a couple yards on every single play. The way that this line has been developed, and Hansen, I mean, love what Hansen's doing. Anyone that's not just shuffling all these guys around, because when you have your tackle go out, it's like musical chairs. It's not you just not plugging in another tackle. It's like you're swapping three guys around. So for them to have that versatility, obviously you need to have the athletes to do it, which they do. We've now shown. I was worried. I kept saying I think we're 6 deep. We're easily 7 deep on this offensive line. Easily, that I'm fairly comfortable with. So, and we're not even talking. I mean, there's still guys like Vicona and Treater that we're not even talking about yet, that we will be talking about in the offseason, that we will be talking about next year. So, yeah, I'm with you guys.
Yeah, the 25 and 26 class, like how young they are, developing behind this group. I mean, the offensive line, I think, will be good for, the foreseeable future, especially if Zach Hansen's retained. So, but Maddox, anything else for us? Appreciate the call, brother.
I mean, not necessarily, really. I just think, honestly, the bye week really proved that our coaching staff is just, I think, what it was hyped up to be, or what we were after. We revamped the whole staff, like, in the off season. We wanted to see some improvement, and then this. I mean, you go in the bye week after that bitter loss. The whole team just obviously wants to get the loss off their chest, but they just can't. They're itching for it. Then they get to it. They get to the Michigan game, and they just prove. Really, I think the coaching staff proves that, they've developed a fantastic game plan. I mean, the way Lincoln called the game, the way the defense moved, the 4-3 looked great. The way Gentry scraped across the field, he read the RPOs. I don't think he missed one read one time. It was great to watch.
Yeah.
And it makes me way more confident going into Notre Dame.
Yeah, I was just going to say, man, that's a great point. Like, Eric Gentry off the edge, reading RPOs is he might be the best in country at that. Just so fun to watch him read those. And with his length, he's he's in the backfield before they even make a decision. Like, he forces the decision for them to make, and then he reads it right. So yeah, great point.
Yeah. So quick. Yeah. And you can't teach or coach length. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm cautiously optimistic until I see this team travel the way they play at home. Ooh. And what a place.
Sorry. They had the Brewers had the bases loaded, and Dodgers got it out of it. So game one. Sorry to get you off your point there.
No, that's okay. That's okay. No, I totally forgot. So I'm excited. Now I totally forgot what I was saying, but
my bad.
That's okay. Max, anything else for us? I'm totally off.
No, you're saying how your confidence on the team.
Oh yeah. So
which I agree. I agree. The way they do have to prove that they can play the way they do at home on the road. I agree, 100%. Especially in Notre Dame, we haven't won there since basically my entire lifetime, which is just unreal.
Yeah, it's been rough. It has been rough. So
I was at the game 2 years ago. It was not fun. It's not ideal. So, oh yeah, I'm pumped to break this game down, Tim. Into this week talking Notre Dame. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait to bring my rain clothes and my rain equipment for my camera equipment. Thank you, South Bend, for being such a wonderful place to visit. Yeah. Yay. Has anyone here? I'd love to hear it. When was the last time that there was a USC game played midday in the sunshine without any kind of drizzle or rain? When was the last time that happened?
I don't, and they always do the 7:30 kick there.
7:30
right?
late kicks, you know, and it is not raining. It's been drizzling all day and it's cold and miserable. I mean, like, they get to come out to California and experience 80-degree weather. We got to spend, our airfare. I mean, I'm gonna be in Chicago, not South Bend, but even then, and I'm sure the weather's gonna be, iffy, but I'm still gonna have fun there. But yeah, it's just must be so nice to be able to come out to California and leave that kind of weather and then have like a vacation. You know what I mean? It's like you're actually going to a vacation stop. I love you, South Bend, but you're not a vacation stop.
That's why they all come. That's why opposing fans love coming out here.
On that depressing thought about the rain, but I'll be excited. Now, Ryan, are you going to the game?
Maybe. I still haven't bought my ticket, which means probably not, since it's in 5 days, but I'm still holding out hope potentially. I'd love to be there.
It's going to be exciting. Well, you guys in the chat, if anyone's going, let me know. It'd be cool to have a little meetup. If not, beforehand at the game, South Bend. I'll tell you what, I'm making fun of the weather, but anybody that's been to the Notre Dame campus, beautiful campus, and the fans there, the tailgates, and the fans in general there are always awesome. Very knowledgeable, very good people. So you will enjoy your time. All right, Max. Well, thank you so much, man.
Soon, Tim, we will have LAFB
Yeah, I appreciate
meetup.
you guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Maddox. Thanks, brother.
Or beat Notre Dame and fight on.
Right on, man.
Yeah, soon, Tim, we'll have LAFB meetups at all of the away games. That'll be in the works someday.
Oh, wow. Let's make that happen.
We'll make that happen.
All right, guys. Well, it's about that time. It's been an hour unless we get, I said it and they come. That's all right. Love calls. Let's see if this is a Notre Dame fan wants to scream me for a few minutes. Or Barry, a Michigan fan wants to scream me. That'd be even better. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm from Lake Forest, California.
I'm sorry. I missed your first name. Sorry, really quick. What's your name?
Bryan.
Brian, thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I just wanted to make sure, or I felt like I think it was important or a good thing to give Coach Hansen his flowers. But not only Coach Hansen. Am I saying that right? Coach Hansen?
Yeah, it's Hansen, right. Henson was the previous offensive line coach. He's the OC at Purdue now. Yeah, correct, Hansen.
But yeah, a lot of our fans, are recognizing what that offensive line is doing. I wanted to also take a second to, also give his assistant his flowers as well. I'm sure Ryan's been to practice several times. I don't know if you've ever talked to John McDonald. I think he's the mad scientist behind the scenes working with Coach Hansen. So I think people we'll probably hear more about him later on. But I think everybody that's working with that offensive line, deserves some credit and recognition, in my humble opinion. That and one other thing, if I may. There's I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've been recognizing that Lincoln Riley has been able to essentially run a Big Ten style of the air raid. Last year, I remember a lot of people talking about, controlling the tempo of the game or the clock. If you noticed, especially this last couple of games, he's been running the air raid, but it's been really slow and dialed back. So they're milking the clock, they're chewing up the clock. They're still running the air raid, but it's in bits and pieces as they march down the field. I was wondering if anybody else noticed that.
Well, when people put air raid in one basket, do you know what I mean? They say, "Oh, it's air raid." Right. There's so many different versions. I mean, there's some concepts, right? I mean, maybe Ryan, you can speak to a little more than I can. Probably some route trees and some concepts that are very air raidy, right? If that's even a word. But if you look at Lincoln Riley's offense, and look at other air raid offenses, you look at Mike Leach for an extreme example, right? We used to play Wazoo. I mean, the run game consisted of swing passes and screens. There was really no traditional run game at all. They'd offset it with screens and to keep your linebackers, like I was talking about earlier, trying to make the game a little more horizontal. They would incorporate these screen plays to the running backs out of the backfield. So when people throw it, they talk about, even though Lincoln Riley coached under Coach Leach, if you just look at their two offenses, Ryan, they're not the same offense.
No, I mean what I would say is that his passing concepts are a version of the air raid, but it is not an air raid offense, because I think his running schemes that he implements, he runs a lot of power, runs a lot of counter. I mean, how much counter have we seen with these pulling guards? That's not at all air raid, seeing pulling guards and whatnot in the running game and running it 38 times or whatever. So there's definitely some passing concepts when you see these, 5 wide and sometimes and different route trees that I think can constitute air raid. But the Lincoln Riley USC offense is not, in my opinion, an air raid offense. It's kind of in a league of its own.
Right. Yep. I've just been very, very impressed. Very impressed that coaches with the adjustments and evolution with not only the offense but him as a coach, say what he wants. I'm just as guilty as everybody else of getting upset when things don't go our way. But when he does do something right, I think it's important to acknowledge that as well. And that being, his balance on offense this year for one, definitely deserves credit on that.
Yeah,
that's all I had, guys.
No, thank you. Appreciate you calling. Thank you so much for the call. Excellent call.
Thanks,
the thing is, people have to realize is coaches, they grow as well. And I mean, Lincoln Riley is a relatively young coach, but he's been coaching for a while, and sometimes there's that growth that needs to happen. I've honestly felt that I don't think Lincoln Riley has had the roster, and he said that early on. He hasn't had the roster. He now has that roster. That's what I'm saying. And he kind of said it himself at the beginning of the year. He didn't leave himself an out this year. They're where they want to be. They're gonna be better. Like the talent's gonna continue to improve. But right now, he has the talent that he needs to win at the highest level. What happened in Illinois, it's kind of tough to swallow. And I do want to see USC this week go into South Bend and play some, if not mistake-free football. And I'll tell you what, one thing, sorry, Carl, we'll be with you in 1 second. One thing we did see in this game was there were not a lot of penalties called. There was like I think three penalties. One of them was
none on defense.
None on defense. Right. No hands to the face. Right. There was unsportsmanlike call. That holding call. Did you love it? The first holding call gets called in the fourth quarter against USC as they're driving, knocking them out of field goal range at that point. We thought maybe knock them out of field goal range. Interesting timing there, Big Ten. I love that call. But only 3 calls on the game. Wow. So I mean, they're cleaning that aspect of it up. Jaden had that one just brain cramp moment where he threw that ball, and then Lake put that ball on the ground. Heck, if they get 10 points there, let's say they get a touchdown and a field goal there. Now you're talking SC scored 40 points. And it turns from a dominant game into an absolute ass beating. Hi, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, my name is Keith. Calling from Irvine.
I think I know Keith from Irvine. I'm gonna see if I can find your picture, Keith. What's on your mind, Keith?
This is the best call-in show in town. I'm gonna say that. You guys do a great job. So I want to give you two your flowers first and foremost.
Thank you, Keith.
People think I'm an expert, and all I do is just watch your guys' content and say everything that you guys say, and people love me for it.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Keith.
Can you tell my wife that? That'd be helpful.
I know, right? Yeah, if you could tell my wife that, I'll tell yours. It'll be perfect. But what I'm thinking about here is that Notre Dame game. Okay. The spread, the line has jumped up. Don't gamble, kids. But they're like 9.5 right now, plus 9.5. I'm jumping all over that. Okay, because there's no way that we lose that game at all, much less in some crazy alternate reality by 2 scores.
No way, Keith.
Not happening.
There's no way we lose that game, Keith. Are you sure?
I love the confidence. I love it.
I do like the confidence. I like USC's momentum, but this is a Notre Dame team that they haven't beaten in South Bend since 2011. They just came off of, granted, it was NC State, but they dominated that game. They've lost 2 games this year, but they're both 2 quality losses, if they want to call them those. But they were in those games. I mean, that Miami team's for real. We didn't know that early on in the year, but that Miami team is one of the best teams in the country. They lost to them. They lost in overtime to A&M when they had a pretty good, it was a great ending for A&M. Otherwise, they win that game as well. So, I mean, this is, I can see I can show you, Keith, if we play like we played on the road under Lincoln Riley in the Big Ten, I can see us losing this game. Keith now hates me. See?
Well, I mean, we've had two road games. Okay, one of which was delayed by 3 hours.
Fair.
The other one There was like food poisoning. I'm not saying that's why we lost, but not having Kamari out there, we saw this weekend Kamari back at the nickel position, the safety position where he plays. I mean, like the best game for our defensive backs, period. Like by a mile.
Mm-hmm.
Even Gabe said it. Trojan Blade Gabe, which I love. Even Gabe called it out, right? Which is like, oh shit, the DBs played their ass off. And so Kamari's back. We got Alex Graham. He's getting a little healthier. I'm not worried about our run game because we got B-Jack in there. We got King Miller. We're going to continue to do what we do. And then we have our NFL prospect left tackle back, which we all know Elijah. I think he's going to play. It's not a game breaker, but Elijah's going to be out there. We're going to play tough and physical. And Notre Dame doesn't have any answer. I'm telling you, I've watched the games, extended highlights for the games against Miami and Texas A&M. Two quality teams, like you said, Tim. But man, our passing game is just on a whole nother level.
I don't think that they're going to have an answer. Well, I don't think anyone has an answer for Lemon. By the way, Keith, we got you center stage right now on the
look at that
on the broadcast. Keith always there. I know the second I walk into the Coliseum, I know exactly where Keith is. I can hear him. The second I come out onto the field, I know where Keith is, and he's always there with his friends, and they're huge supporters of the show, but also they're there every game, and they are letting the refs have it. They're letting the players know they're just to represent. I mean, you guys, your whole group, Keith, is awesome. So appreciate you supporting the show like you always do. You've always been supporting the show, and I love you being here. I would caution you against saying that there's no way USC is going to lose this game. That's all I would say. Is I would caution against the no way we lose the game, because there is a world where USC loses this one, Keith. I think this could be a great game, but I do think that USC. I think USC is going to win this game. I called USC. What did I say? 30. I started out saying 33-21, but then I chickened out when I had to make and I went down to. I said 30-23 was the score, and people thought I was crazy. They thought it'd be closer than that.
For Michigan?
I think, yeah, in the Michigan game. For this game, I'm feeling it. I think there's gonna be some points scored in this game, to be honest with you, because I don't think we are not going to shut down their offense like we did against Michigan. That's why I would caution you. I mean, I like what our defense showed this last game, but I just have too much respect for Price and Love, the way they run. And CJ Carr is a freshman, and I don't have a lot of respect for their receivers. But when you got a running game like that, if you got an explosive running team like that, it's going to open up the passing game. And CJ Carr has all the tools. I mean, Michigan fans probably were kind of bummed out when he left. Is he the grandson? Is he the grandson of Lloyd Carr? I can't remember if that's actually someone let me know if that's wrong or right, but I think it's something like that. But Carr left on not the greatest terms from Michigan, so maybe that came into the decision. I don't know, but they will be able to put some points up. So USC, I'm picking USC to win. You got to tune in on Wednesday to get my score prediction and what I think's going to happen in that game. But Keith, there is a chance that USC, there's definitely a chance USC loses this game.
We're not going yet there, Tim. We're not going there yet.
Okay, Tim. I mean, I would love to hear what your co-host has to say about that. What his score prediction was. I missed it for last week for Michigan, but here's one thing I knew. Michigan, their receivers were like, they weren't going to throw the ball, which I expected Lynn to throw, 3 linebackers out there. A lot of the times we have like a nickel package. So we had 3 linebackers for most of the game, and you saw what happened. I think we did the same thing with Notre Dame. We have our 3 starting backers out there, and we make Carr, a true freshman, beat us with his arm. Don't see it happening.
Yeah, Marsh played well, I think, their receiver, and then McCauley. I think McCauley is out there blocking well, playing well overall. But yeah, other than that, they really didn't do much in the passing game. I'm telling you, I think that part of that was the fact that Underwood is going to be very good. He's not really good right now. And I think we saw that him on the road. He did not play his best game, and that allowed USC to do that. I hope they could, if we could have the 3 linebackers. I mean, because I love having Jaden Walker, out there. I think that he just makes things happen. And if you could have, if your linebackers are Gentry, Stevens, and Walker, I mean, that's a lot of athletic talent in that linebacker room that I would love to see on the field at the same time. And they showed in that game that they can make it happen. I'm just wondering if we come out, if you come out and they're going 4 wide, then what do you do? Are you still, are you gonna, you want Eric Gentry 30 yards down the field with a slot receiver? I don't know. No,
then you'll switch your personnel packages. So that's the beauty of being defense, and you get the last personnel change. Versatile.
So great call. Great call.
Thanks, Keith, the man.
We got to get out of here at some point, but I do appreciate you calling as always.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Keith. Guys. Fight on, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. No more. Well, we have one more call, and then I think we're going to call it a night. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely need to. I'm getting the yank from the outside the door from the daughter.
In the old days, we used to do but really quickly, thank you so much. I'm going with Awesome Gus. I don't know. I don't know. I hope I'm not butchering that too. But thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. Call. We lost. We had a second caller and they are not with us. We missed them. They chickened out last second. But appreciate all of you guys calling in. That's a pretty good show, Ryan.
Fantastic. Always.
Coming off of I'll tell you what, there's a lot of programming out there. I appreciate you guys being here. I swear there must be at least 45 USC shows. When I started this, there were like 3. Now there's like everybody has a call-in show. Everybody has a live show. Appreciate all of the guys like Keith and LV and all the new callers coming and checking out the show. Special thanks to our callers. See, who are our callers? Thank you so much to LV. I just said his name. Thank you to Maddox. Thank you to Russ and Bryan. Thank you guys all for calling up, and then Keith from Irvine for the last call. Thank you guys for calling in. Thank you guys all for being here. If you're still here, do us a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. There's 70 of you guys here right now. Hit that subscribe button so you make sure you see us on Wednesday. We'll be doing a preview of the Notre Dame game, and then you'll be getting content every day here from Ryan on Tuesdays and Thursday. He does is a noon show?
Yeah, noon Pacific right here.
So he's really heavily into the recruiting angles and team news. So you can catch that live with Ryan at 12 o'clock tomorrow and on Thursday. But I think that wraps up. If you want to take us home, Ryan, I appreciate all of you guys being here. Again, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Tim, appreciate you as always. Always a blast. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. And as always, family, fight on.